How is everybody doing today? And in this video, of course, with the release of Robin coming out very soon, which a lot of people are excited for, and I mean a multitude of people are actually as well excited for Topaz. And today we're going to talk about, is she still worth it currently in the meta when it comes to what she's able to provide, what she's able to do, and all the additions she's gotten over time as she's been released, and all the characters that have come out. We're going to cover all of these things, and if you should summon for her, if you shouldn't, if you should wait, all the different type of stuff, if you have conditions, everything in this video. But make sure to leave a like, sub, comment, all the different type of stuff, and let me know, do you already have Topaz? Are you going to get her on the rerun? Are you getting her Lyco and the Islands? I would love to know in regards to what you're looking at when it comes to what you're going to be doing with Topaz. But today, let's go ahead and start talking about Topaz and what she's able to do for the people that don't know 100%. And Topaz and Numby are a very, and I can say very unique case of a character, because when they released, they were actually one of the more unique characters, being able to do DPS off turn while also supporting their teammates. While being in the Hunt class, you would assume this to be a Nihility or a Harmony character, but what she's able to do, and for the most part, most of what she's able to do really plays into the fact that she's able to debuff enemies with having Proof of Death, which is actually going to be giving a buff, or I guess you could say a damage buff, to the follow-up attacks that are going to be coming to that one enemy. Now, that was one weakness that a lot of people sought after immediately, and that is a single target. There's no other way to give Proof of Death to multiple characters. You have to spend a skill point to give it to one character specifically, or you have to hope that it RNGs its way onto the right character so that you don't have to waste a skill point. All of her attacks are follow-up attacks, so that makes for a lot of the relics that she's able to use when it comes to the follow-up set being very good for her, being able to help out a lot when it comes to the damage that she's going to be doing, and also Inner Cell Sorrow also helping out follow-up attacks. There's a lot of really good stuff that comes with Topaz and what she's able to have, because not only does she have her follow-up attack set available to her, she also has the ability to be able to provide a nice buff for follow-up attack characters, which for the most part, everyone should have a ratio on deck, which is going to allow them to be able to play around and also have a very good partner for Topaz, because he wasn't out on Topaz's release. So we do have a single target character that helps out with having Topaz on the field, which allows her Numby to get advanced forwarded with follow-up attacks, and it overall is a really good thing to have. Not only with Dr. Ratio's release, we also got the release of Aventurine as well, which makes it more exciting for every other character that's coming into the follow-up attack team, because Numby is getting non-stop buffs with being able to get advanced forwarded even more, with Aventurine doing his follow-up attacks, with Ratio being able to target who he wants with Proof of Death, and then Topaz being Topaz, being able to advance Numby herself, have the ultimate to where everything gets advanced forwarded, and now you have everyone doing attacks, everyone doing follow-up attacks. Numby just gets to keep going more and more and more, and this is super exciting when it comes to the viability of what Topaz and Numby are able to do. So kit-wise aside, we are going to go ahead and talk about, is she still worth it in this current meta? And it honestly plays into two different factors whether or not she's still worth it. One of the factors is if you are 100%, and I mean 100%, going to be going for Topaz for the reason that you are going to be building out the full-up follow-up attack team. Now, this could end up changing with Jade coming out in the future, and since this rerun is happening right now and we don't get the information on Jade until the second half of the patch, we don't really have a lot of information to fall back on when it comes to, is it going to be worth it summoning on Topaz or not. But Jade will be Erudition, and Jade, with like the other IPC members, with Ratio, yes, I know he's not actually part of the IPC, but chill on me for a second. But Ratio, Topaz, Aventurine, they all deal with follow-up attacks, and Jade being Erudition, it seems like most likely that's going to be the same thing as well. I have zero idea what they're going to be planning for her when it comes to, maybe she's AoE follow-up attack, maybe she can direct her follow-up attack in a certain way, maybe it comes out a lot more often, maybe she's able to boost entities upwards. There's a crazy amount of things that can happen with a post 2.0 character releasing, especially somebody like Jade, who's going to be competing with all the other DPSs in the game. There's a lot to look forward to. But if you are 100% looking forward to getting the follow-up attack team with building your Ratio, with building out your Aventurine, then it would be a safe bet to look forward and possibly something for Topaz. But I do have to make one other preface for Topaz, and that is that she is very expensive to gear out in the proper fashion. Topaz and Numby do have a couple of, I guess you could say, substitutions that they can run to be able to abide well if you want to run them in the more DPS fashion, which of course, if she's supporting with Proof of Death, if she's giving you the damage that you're able to do, you're able to pop in something like Swordplay at S5 and do a good amount of damage with it. But a lot of what makes Topaz Topaz and what makes her really great on the team versus other characters that you could possibly put in regards to looking at someone like Dr. Ratio, looking at someone like Aventurine. There's other characters that would be able to do a little bit more work in the supportive role than having Topaz on the team, unless there's two weakness on the enemies that are fire and also imaginary. So looking at it, you could easily slide in someone like Ting Yun, someone like Ruan Mei, even someone like Robin coming out eventually super soon, making it so that follow-up attack characters can end up going forward again, and Robin's able to attack as well, making it so that you're doing non-stop damage, making it so that all the characters that are doing follow-up attacks get boosted up to the top again, which allows them to do more damage. And this is just overall really exciting to see what Robin might be doing for the follow-up attack team, but we will have to wait until that information is officially available. But going back to what I said about other characters being really great in supporting these type of characters like Ratio, like Aventurine, and possibly even Jade in the future, Topaz isn't able to fulfill this same exact supportive role unless you go for something like her Eidolons or her Light Cone, because her Eidolons and her Light Cone actually provide a crap ton of supportive benefits and also help her with her offensive role as well, giving crit rate. And also with Topaz herself, she's actually able to give more debuffs with having her Eidolons and also Light Cones, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to and getting very soon. So with the Light Cone, you actually are able to give not only follow-up attack damage increase to Topaz, you're going to be getting more crit rate, which is really great as well, but also when you do use her follow-up attack, which is basically everything that she has in her kit, because her basics, her skills, all the different type of stuff is considered as a follow-up attack, you are able to apply Tame, which can end up giving more crit damage dealt to all allies when it comes to hitting that enemy target with it. And it's the same target that will have Proof of Death. So not only do you have Proof of Death increasing follow-up attack damage, you also have Tame giving you more crit damage dealt as well. So that's two debuffs playing into Dr. Ratio's type of standpoint when it comes to being able to debuff the enemy as much as you possibly can to get that guaranteed 100% with Topaz alone. And then looking at her Eidolon 1, which a lot of people are eyeing as well, this gives another debuff, because not only do you have Tame, you have Proof of Death, and now you have the Debtor state that you get when you follow up, which is going to allow other follow-ups to be able to get more crit damage, stacking up to 2 times, which makes it up to 50% extra crit damage when you end up using a follow-up attack with Topaz. So you get 3 debuffs on one character, making it guaranteed for Ratio to be able to get his full follow-up attack with Topaz alone. And this is a monumental buff and changes Topaz into a much different character than what she would be without her Light Cone and without her Eidolons. So that is 100% something I do want to say, and it is kind of upsetting to see that Topaz right now isn't able to output as much supportive ability without having these type of factors with her signature Light Cone and without her Eidolons. She can do damage with, like I said, a substitution with swordplay, but it gets really hard to fulfill any other conditions like hitting the 134 speed, hitting a good enough attack so she's actually able to do enough damage, being able to get the crit rate crit damage because you aren't getting it through the Light Cone. There's just a fat ton of different things that play into, I guess you could say, a role of not being able to support as much while also not being able to attack or do damage like the way you're supposed to be doing with having Topaz on the field. So if you are going to be looking forward to grabbing someone like Aventurine, grabbing someone like Ratio, and being able to build up the proper follow-up team, then you might look forward and going ahead and getting Topaz. And then if you're looking forward and getting her Light Cone or her Eidolon, I do recommend getting the Light Cone first to be able to help you in not only supportive role, but also in a damaging role. If you end up getting the Light Cone with Topaz, then I think that's 100% a good option, 100% to go for. But also, we do also talk about Robin, because Robin is right next to her, literally on the same half of the patch, which she looks absolutely amazing for follow-up attack teams. Because when you look at it, having somebody like Robin versus someone like Ruan Mei for the follow-up attack team, Ruan Mei is very strong, and she has been the best in slot support for having Topaz and Ratio with Aventurine on the same team, because they have that full-on team-wide buff, like extra toughness, efficiency, break damage, all the different type of stuff. Really good things for that team in whole. But when you look at Aventurine, you look at Ratio, you look at Topaz, and you see that Robin is able to give a full damage buff as well, just like Robin, or just like Ruan Mei, my bad, in her skill. That is a big thing. Not only that, she's actually able to give you more damage through her ultimate as well, plus being able to boost everyone up to the top of the action line, like immediately, guaranteed. So that means someone like Ratio, he gets another follow-up attack. That means someone like Aventurine, he has the potential to get enough energy to do his ult, or he has the potential to be able to do his follow-up attack boosting Numby even closer to the top of the list. And now Topaz can do her follow-up attack, Topaz can advance Numby again, and this gives Numby an extra amount of time to be able to do damage as well while getting boosted up by Robin. So if you're looking for someone like Topaz, you do have to consider that someone like Robin is going to be a very big help for the follow-up attack team as well, and maybe even a bigger boost to someone like REHOO, or maybe even someone like Jade in the future, and can end up going alongside other teams as well. So we won't know 100% how pivotal Robin is going to be versus Ruan-Mei, or how pivotal Topaz is going to be versus Robin. But we do have to remember that in the same fashion that a lot of people have to choose between a sustain Aventurine or a damaging Aventurine, you want to make sure Aventurine is doing the main sustain, or doing his main job, which is keeping you alive before you worry about damage. The problem with Topaz here is that not being able to give the most supportive ability without her signature and without the Eidolons makes it super hard to be able to focus on the supportive ability, because you can't really enhance that any further than just leveling up the talents itself. You have to go ahead and go for the damaging option, which if you're rocking something that's not her signature light cone, makes it very difficult to balance both the supportive aspect of Topaz that could probably be fulfilled by someone like Ting Yun, be fulfilled by someone like Hanya, Asta, all these other characters, versus being able to use Topaz where she's not outputting as much supportive value while also not giving the damage that you would want for Topaz. So Topaz is relatively a more expensive character to build, and if you're not looking forward to getting her light cone, getting her Eidolon, getting these two things that allow you to make her into a much different character, you don't have to go for both. I do recommend going for the light cone first if you're going to be going for anything in addition to getting anything extra to Topaz. Or if you just overall like Topaz, then just get her, because you have to enjoy the game first before you end up playing it. So if you really like Topaz, go ahead. If you're looking for a follow-up tech team and you're looking to go for the light cone or the Eidolon, go ahead. If you're on the rerun looking to get her light cone and just her Eidolon, or one or the other, 100% go for it. If you are 1000% getting her light cone, that makes Topaz a much more worth unit to have when she's able to not only do the damage that she's able to do, but also to be able to give these crit damage boosts not only to other characters that are doing follow-up attacks, but to all the other rest of the teammates that you could possibly get, because this not only doesn't apply just to follow-up attacks, it applies to every attack possible in the game, which is very exciting. And then the Eidolon does increase follow-up attack damage based on the crit damage as well. So it's really, really good to have these two aspects, or at least just one of them, to be able to fix up the problems that Topaz has by herself, which is not enough support, not enough damage, and overall just very underwhelming without either of these two options. So other than that, that is pretty much it when it comes to Topaz and her worth. I do think that she is relatively a slightly expensive character to use, or a slightly expensive character to build, because not having the light cone, not having the Eidolon is going to hurt in the long run, because we have much better supports coming out. We have Ruan-Mei, we have Ting Yun, we have Robin coming very soon. And to go for somebody who's supposed to be very centric to the follow-up attack team, which does end up helping Robin, and also, not Robin, also helps out REHOO and Aventurine in the long run because of Numby's follow-up attacks, which end up giving Aventurine his stacks for his shield, and also helping out REHOO being able to do the train of follow-up attacks that you're able to do with his ultimate. So Topaz does help the follow-up attack team by quite a bit, but not so much that she's worth the summon if you're not going to go for the light cone and Eidolon. So other than that, that is going to be my say on Topaz, and if you should summon for her. She's still overall a really great unit with these light cones and Eidolons. She does suffer slightly with not having these two on her, but being able to specify and be able to work on both aspects, not only supportive but also offensively with her kit, you end up getting a monster of a character if you could build her out the right way. So other than that, that's going to be it for this video. She's expensive, but she's still a very great character. She's a good character to work on in the long run if you're going to be going for these items, or if you're going to be pulling for her rerun with being able to get her Eidolon or light cone. That's going to be really nice for you to have in the long run for a lot of these characters are coming in the future, because as characters get more absurd, Topaz is going to be able to work off them with the crit damage buff, with the damage buff for the follow-up attacks, with Proof of Debt, with Tame, with the Debtor Stay, all these different things. She's a good investment character if you're going to put the hard investment into her. If not, it might be better than to just wait for another support, possibly wait for Robin, possibly wait for another character that might bide well with other follow-up attack characters. So other than that, that's going to be it for today. Let me know what you think about Topaz down below and all the different types of stuff. Let me know if you are summoning for her with their light cone, Eidolon, just the character itself, all the different type of things. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.